Hi and welcome to Cool Scratch Tutorials. In this video we'll be taking a look at the user interface for Scratch version 1.4 running on Windows. So let's take a look first of all at the top. We'll have a look at all of the various aspects of the user interface, but we'll start up at the top here. So up at the top we've got the main toolbar showing the language, save and share shortcut buttons. We've then got some menu items here as well to allow us to open projects, export sprites, etc. And an important one that I tend to use a lot is the project notes, where you can type in all the instructions and information regarding your project. Then under the edit menu, undelete, that can be quite useful if you've accidentally deleted something and want to get it back. The single step mode, that's useful if you want to change the speed at which your scripts are running. We'll look at that again later. Share, that's similar, it'll sort of allow you to share it to the Scratch site or to go to the Scratch site. And then we've got the help, and we just saw there I've gone to the about pages. So most of the time when you're starting a new project, you'll go File, New, and create a new project there, or open one of the existing projects that you've already got on your system. So continuing on over towards the right hand side of the main toolbar, we've got this area here. This is the stage toolbar. So here this allows us to duplicate or copy items, either scripts, sprites, costumes, various things can be copied. This is a shortcut way of doing it. There's also context menus that allow you to do that. So for instance, I could just select here, copy this script and create a new instance of it there, but I don't want to do that. I can also cut, so I could cut out, for instance I could cut out this particular entry from within this script. But remember, if I told you you can undelete, so I'll just pop that back in there. You've got the ability to change the size of the sprites that you have, so you could select this, and by clicking on one of the sprites here on the stage we can make the sprite bigger, or by choosing the shrink option I can make the sprite smaller. A quick way of just cancelling whatever this command is, just move away from it, click in some area of free space, and then you're out of that particular mode. Okay, over on the far side here we've got the ability to change the size of the screen, the stage, so we can have it small, large, or we can switch into presentation mode as well, which takes us so that we can just see the stage, we can't see the scripts or any other areas of Scratch when we do this. Okay, we'll talk about the stage a bit more in a bit. So back over here, over on the right, over on the left, sorry, we've got the blocks palette with all the various categories of blocks and the various different blocks that are under those categories. I won't go through them all in any particular detail at all here, because there's a lot to go through there, and I'll cover some of those in future videos. Needless to say, the important thing is that you've got various categories. You can take any of these blocks from here and just drag them into your scripts area, and then start sort of interlocking these things in various ways to this is kind of a useless script, but you can lock them in various ways to form your scripts. I'm going to get rid of that one. You can also, if you want to know what any of these blocks do, you can just right click on them and you get a little menu there. You can go to help and you can see what the block is relating to. and get more information about any of the blocks that way. Another interesting point about the blocks is the variables. So you can see here that I've created some variables, and I've actually put check marks against these first three, which relate to seeing them on my stage or not. So for instance, if I uncheck the radius, you'll see that the radius disappears from the stage. So if you want to see something on the stage in terms of a variable, or a slider as this is called, then you can do that by checking and unchecking here. And I think, as you saw earlier, I also use this area to sort of just drag things into if I want to delete them as well, so that can be quite useful as a shortcut. Right, over in the middle here we've got the sprite header area. So in here we can change the way that the sprites rotate. So I'll just choose a different sprite to make this a bit more obvious. So we can either have it so that it can fully rotate, and in that way you've got this little blue line here, and if I drag and hold and rotate, you see I can actually rotate the thing around. You see the direction changes, its rotation is changing. I can force it so that the thing won't rotate, the sprite won't rotate, but it will sort of honour the current direction that it's set at. Won't rotate, but it will turn left and right. Or I can have it such that it just won't rotate or mirror itself at all, which is the case for some sprites depending on what you're trying to achieve. I'll leave this on don't rotate. If you want to get the direction back to 90, you can just double click. Or maybe an interesting point here is that, yeah, direction 0 is up, 90 is to the right. If you're just wondering what the different directions are. Okay, as well as that, we've also got the name of the sprite, which can be edited and changed if you want to. I'm not going to do that here. You can also indicate whether you want the sprite to be locked when you view it from the Scratch website, or can people drag it around when they're looking at it on the website. By default you'll find that these are locked. You've also got the XY position of the sprite currently and its direction. Under there you've got these three further panes for the sprite: the scripts, the costumes and the sounds. Now this is where you'll experiment, where you'll be creative, and where you'll create the programs that you want to share with others. I'll cover the detail of those in another video. However, I suppose that some of the useful things on there that I've found straight away are things such as the ability here, when you've got all your scripts, you can save a picture of those scripts, which can be quite nice if you want to use that maybe for some other document or something that you're writing. And here's an example of what you get when you try and save a picture of those scripts. As well as that, you can write context over the items that you've got. You can duplicate at any level. So for instance, if I duplicate at this particular point in a script, it's going to duplicate everything below it, and I can create a copy of that, which I don't need, so I'm just going to drag that away. So just as we got these cut and copy up here, we can also do that down here as well, using the drag or the context menu. We've also got comments. These are examples of comments, so you can write comments to document your code, and then you can drag them around and associate them with the appropriate block. Another interesting thing is that rather than running all your scripts, you can actually just run one item specifically by double clicking on it here in the scripts pane. So for instance, here I've got something that says, well, when the space key is pressed, stop the Spyro. Well, it's not moving at the moment, maybe let's try another one. wipe the screen when 0 key is pressed. Well, if I double click that, we'll see what happens over here. There you go. So double clicking it causes this particular thing to be actioned, to run. So it's just cleared the screen for me. Okay, so yeah, we've got the scripts, the costumes, where we can see the actual pictures that we've got associated with each script, and the script can have more than one costume. So for instance, I could create copies of this if I wanted to have more than one, or delete them if I don't need them anymore. And then if you've got sounds, if you're creating games, you'll probably want to put sounds in there too. So you can use this tab to create or import the various sounds that you want. Okay, moving over towards the right hand side again, we've got the stage itself. Okay, so on the stage, this is where you're actually going to see the result of what you've been doing with your scripts generally. There's the green flag at the top to start your scripts, or to send them a broadcast notification to start the scripts. You can also cause all your scripts to stop by pressing the red stop button. In terms of the size of the stage, I suppose that it's interesting to note, if I just go to the stage and look at the backgrounds, I've imported from one of the standard backgrounds is the XY grid, so you can see the extents of the stage. So you can see here that the origin point for 0, 0 is in the middle, going up to plus 180, minus 180 in the Y, plus 240, minus 240 in the X. That can be quite useful if you're trying to place things and to know the extent of the size of the viewable stage. You've also got on the right hand context menu here, the right hand mouse, you've got the ability to save a picture of the stage. Again, if you want to maybe post a picture of what you've done up on a site, or include it in some kind of Word document that you're writing, this can be quite useful in helping you out with that. Okay, so and if we move down and look, oh no, let me just say something else about the stage. You can on the stage with the sprites here, you can drag everything around to get it to the place that you want to see it. I just double clicked on an item, so it just actioned it automatically. I'm just going to stop that again for a second. Right, so you've also got the XY position here that you can see as you're moving around on the screen. The XY position is changing relative to the origin of the stage. So moving then down to the sprites area, down here, you've got various ways of creating new sprites, which places them along here. But you've also got the special sprite, this background or stage sprite. Just looking at the stage sprite for a second, you'll see that the blocks that it's got associated with it, it's got much fewer blocks, because it's not really meant to be used for all of your animations as such. That's the purpose of your other sprites. So if we just switch back to where I've got all the real scripts going on. Yeah, as I've already mentioned, each of these sprites has got its own set of scripts, costumes and sounds. So if I just switch to another sprite, you'll see that its set of scripts, costumes and sounds are displayed along with the other properties relative to it. This one's called Lucky Dip, for instance, which will give us a Lucky Dip different Spyro every time we select it when it's running. Okay, so I think that concludes sort of the main sort of controls and layout of the Scratch 1.4 window. So I'm just going to quickly show you this particular little simulation that I've done here for the for drawing spirographs. So if I just switch this into full screen mode, and then we can see that, so if I was to click this first button here, the lucky dip, it's just going to draw something, a random spiral at some random position on the screen, and it'll keep doing that every time I press that. I can press the space bar and it will stop drawing. I can press the 0 key and it will clear the screen. I can press this favourites button and it will draw a favourite, and I can keep pressing it and getting different favourites. I can change the radius over which it's drawing to get it to draw something bigger or smaller, so I can get that to start redrawing again. I can click somewhere else on the screen and it'll draw whatever the current spiro is at that position. So it's just a kind of a quick example of using pens and some geometry functions to get some quite nice effects in Scratch. You can do a lot of nice things with this environment. Okay, well, I think that concludes this particular tutorial. Thanks for watching. Check out the comments for my blog link, and also for the Scratch gallery that contains this and other projects.